Mastering Cybersecurity Policy Development. Your cybersecurity strategy is only as strong as its weakest policy. When developing a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy, what is the organization's overall approach to cybersecurity? And how does its policy development process fit into this approach, ensuring that security policies align with industry best practices and support the protection of its sensitive data and assets? The art of crafting a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy, a puzzle that requires not only technical expertise, but also a deep understanding of the organization's DNA. I recall working with a global financial institution, tasked with developing a watertight cybersecurity policy that would safeguard their sensitive data and assets. As I delved into the project, I realized that the organization's approach to cybersecurity was akin to a patchwork quilt, a collection of disjointed efforts, each addressing a specific threat or vulnerability. The absence of a unified strategy made it challenging to develop a policy that would resonate across the entire organization. My first step was to convene a series of workshops with key stakeholders, including the CISO, IT leaders, and department heads. These sessions were designed to facilitate open dialogue, allowing us to distill the organization's risk appetite, threat landscape, and existing security controls. I needed to grasp the organization's psyche, understanding what kept them up at night, and what they were willing to tolerate in terms of risk. Through these conversations, a clear picture began to emerge. The organization was grappling with the consequences of rapid digital transformation, which had introduced a plethora of new attack surfaces. They recognized the need for a structured approach to cybersecurity, one that would harmonize their efforts and ensure consistency across the organization. With this newfound understanding, I set out to develop a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy that would serve as the foundation for our policy development process. This strategy would need to be agile, adaptable, and informed by industry best practices. I proposed a three-pronged approach. First, we would establish a clear risk management framework, which would help identify, assess, and prioritize potential threats. Second, we would develop a robust threat intelligence program, allowing the organization to stay abreast of emerging threats and vulnerabilities. Finally, we would implement a continuous monitoring and improvement process, ensuring that our security controls remained effective and aligned with evolving threats. With this strategy in place, we turned our attention to policy development. Our goal was to craft a set of policies that would provide clear guidance on cybersecurity best practices, while also addressing the organization's unique requirements and risk profile. We developed a suite of policies that addressed key areas, such as incident response, access control, and data encryption. Each policy was designed to be concise, actionable, and informed by industry standards, such as NIST and ISO 27001. Throughout the development process, I ensured that we remained cognizant of the organization's cultural nuances, avoiding a one-size-fits-all approach. We engaged with stakeholders from various departments, soliciting feedback and input to ensure that the policies resonated across the organization. The outcome was a comprehensive cybersecurity policy framework that not only aligned with industry best practices, but also reflected the organization's unique DNA. The policies were designed to be living documents, flexible enough to adapt to emerging threats and changing business requirements. As I looked back on the project, I realized that developing a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy is akin to solving a complex puzzle. It requires a deep understanding of the organization's context, a willingness to challenge assumptions, and a commitment to crafting solutions that are both effective and pragmatic. By adopting a structured approach to cybersecurity, the organization was able to fortify its defenses, better protecting its sensitive data and assets. The organization's overall approach to cybersecurity is a multi-layered and holistic framework that integrates people, processes, and technology to protect its sensitive data and assets from unauthorized access, use, disclosure, modification, or destruction. This approach is built on the understanding that cybersecurity is a critical component of the organization's overall risk management strategy, and is essential for maintaining the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of its information assets. At the core of this approach is the implementation of a robust policy development process that ensures the creation of comprehensive, relevant, and effective cybersecurity policies that align with industry best practices and support the protection of the organization's sensitive data and assets. The policy development process is an ongoing and iterative process that involves the following steps. 1. Risk assessment. The organization conducts a thorough risk assessment to identify and prioritize its information assets, assess the threats and vulnerabilities associated with these assets, and determine the potential impact of a security breach. This risk assessment provides the foundation for the development of cybersecurity policies that address the organization's specific risk profile. 2. Policy development team. A policy development team is established, comprising representatives from various departments and functions, including IT, legal, compliance, and business units. This team is responsible for developing, reviewing, and updating cybersecurity policies to ensure they remain relevant and effective. 3. Policy framework. A policy framework is established, outlining the organization's approach to cybersecurity, including its vision, mission, and objectives. This framework provides the foundation for the development of individual cybersecurity policies, ensuring consistency and clarity throughout the organization. 4. Policy development. Cybersecurity policies are developed, reviewed, and approved using a standardized template and process. Each policy addresses a specific aspect of cybersecurity, such as access control, incident response, or encryption. Policies are written in clear, concise language and are communicated to all relevant stakeholders. 5. Policy review and update. Cybersecurity policies are reviewed and updated regularly to ensure they remain relevant and effective. This review process involves assessing the policy's effectiveness, identifying areas for improvement, and incorporating industry best practices and emerging threats. 6. Policy awareness and training. Cybersecurity policies are communicated to all employees and stakeholders, and training programs are implemented to ensure understanding and compliance. The organization also provides ongoing awareness programs to remind employees of their roles and responsibilities in cybersecurity. 7. Policy compliance and enforcement. The organization establishes a process for monitoring and enforcing compliance with cybersecurity policies. This includes regular audits, vulnerability assessments, and penetration testing to identify areas of non-compliance and implement corrective actions. 8. Continuous monitoring. The organization continuously monitors its cybersecurity posture, identifying areas for improvement and implementing changes to policies, procedures, and controls as needed. To ensure alignment with industry best practices, the organization 1. Adheres to recognized industry standards and frameworks, such as NIST, ISO 27001, and COBIT. 2. Participates in industry forums and working groups to stay informed about emerging threats and best practices. 3. Collaborates with peer organizations to share knowledge and experiences. 4. Conducts regular gap analyses to identify areas for improvement and implement changes to policies, procedures, and controls. 5. Provides ongoing training and awareness programs for employees to stay current with industry best practices and emerging threats. The policy development process is critical to the organization's overall approach to cybersecurity, as it ensures the creation of comprehensive, relevant, and effective cybersecurity policies that support the protection of its sensitive data and assets. By integrating this process with industry best practices, the organization can confidently face the ever-evolving cyber threat landscape, ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of its information assets.